Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no goddamn chaser. Got the super team of sports talk here with y'all. On one half of it, Diego Barista Carp, the Black Dominican Russian, here checking in with my main man, my partner crime, 6 foot under post-up champ. Man, introduce yourself to the people.
What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other 8 in AA Sports, broadcasting live here. We're doing an early show, day show. It kind of worked out this way, but what's good, homie?
Yes, man, I can get used to this afternoon sports talk life, you know what I'm saying? Instead of going and dealing with the day-to-day, hassle and what have you that we deal with on a day-to-day basis in regular jobs. You know, I can kind of get used to this. Kind of cool, right? Hey, what's up, people? We appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, don't forget, we want you guys to subscribe to all platforms. So check us out on YouTube or via iTunes or Spreaker if you prefer the podcast avenue. So we appreciate all your feedback and comments that you're giving us there. We're going to get into our NFL Week 6. Yes, Week 6. Just like that, Week 6 picks this week. Last week we didn't do a show. I had to use a sick day. So we didn't get a chance to recap the Week 4 head-to-head records or what have you. Going into Week 4, remember I was up 3 games. We had 3 games different. The Panthers and the Texans against the Texans, Bengals and the Steelers, and the Vikings and the Bears. Okay. Your boy Diego was on the losing end of all 3 of them matchups, so we went into last week tied. Now, last week we only had 1 game that differed. We tweeted our picks. We didn't do a show. Only game that was different was my Niners and the Browns. Your boy Hate took Baker and the Browns. We all know how that worked out.
What the hell?
So right now, through 5 weeks, our records sit at Hate, you're 44-33-1. I'm 45-32-1. So just a 1 game difference. And I like the way this is going this year. The last couple years, it's either one of us been getting out and the other one playing catch up. It's been pretty much pretty tight this year so far. All right, people. So again, let's get into the Week 6 action, man. Now tonight, I may even be able to get this show up before the game start tonight. We got the Patriots hosting the Giants. Danny Dimes, does he have any bullets tonight? I don't think so, right?
Nope. He going into a war with a pocket knife. And it's going to be raining like crazy.
I mean, no Saquon, no Evan Ingram, no Sterling Shepard. Now, Golden Tate came back last week. I didn't even realize he came back last week, so he'll be there. But I can't tell you any other offensive players on that team right now. So, it's going to be tough sledding for them tonight. I got the Patriots. I don't think we need to
no more time
spend too much time on that. Next up, the London game. Your Panthers will be taking on the Buccaneers. Now, this week, it is a 9:30 a.m. start. If some of y'all woke up like I did last week, me and Hate did, 9:30, expecting the London game to be on. No, it started at 1. So I'm like, okay, why the fuck they can't start all the games at 1 o'clock?
Every time they do it. Yeah.
So, but your Panthers taking on the Bucs. Now, Christian McCaffrey had to sit out of practice this week because of a sore back. I'm pretty sure it's just precautionary and a little bit of rest because he did have to carry the other 52 last week pretty much on that back.
Probably didn't help. Landing on his back.
Yeah.
It probably didn't. But he's back at it today from what I understand. I'm taking Carolina in this game. We should have beat them week 2. But Cam was not remotely himself, and Kyle Allen will give us something. Panthers, I hope y'all watch tape from week 2. We might want to double Old boy on the end from Tampa Bay, he terrorized Cam. Shaq, I think it's
Shaq Barrett.
Yeah, we might want to double him this game. But give me Carolina.
Because he's already got 9, maybe 10 sacks. I don't know if he got one last.
He had to.
Yeah, he had to. Yeah, you're right. He probably had half of them in that week. But I'm going to take Carolina as well in this game. I think that this might be one of them games where Jameis turned the ball over a few times. He's given us some pretty decent weeks here lately. At some point, I'm expecting ugly Jameis to rear his head.
Yeah.
And I think it could be in one of these kind of off games in London, crazy start time, body clock everywhere. I don't know.
They got to get
that's just my gut feeling.
You can't have a high priced dude out there with no catches and only 3 targets. They got to get Mike Evans involved. So
right, and he's being doubled a little bit, but the other Chris Godwin on the other side is coming up huge. So
yes.
If they can get a 1-2 punch like that, that's going to be very good. Now,
yeah. OJ Howard underneath. I'm not sure about the running game, but yeah, we're gonna see.
And that's one thing right there is probably gonna hurt them in this game because y'all got a pretty solid defense, above solid actually.
We getting some guys back this week.
And if they can't run the ball, I think that's why I think Jameis may throw a pick or 2 in this game. Yeah. All right, so we both taking the Panthers there. Next up, Washington Redskins. I'm assuming Colt McCoy will be the starter again this week. We know Jay Gruden got fired early Monday, Tuesday morning, one of them days.
5 a.m. They called him in that office to fire him.
Bill Callen, that was some bullshit. That's the ultimate. They tried him, that's the ultimate. They tried him.
Absolutely.
But they going down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. I got the Dolphins in this game.
I got the Dolphins too. No, I don't. No, yes, I do. No, I'm gonna take Washington. I'm gonna tell you why. I like the quarterback situation. Miami done traded away pretty much anybody that was decent. But have you ever come across a game where both teams probably wanted to end? How would that play as far as draft position if they end in a tie? Because both these teams trying to lose.
I think it'll go if they end up both like 1-15 or whatever. If they records are identical.
Yeah.
I want to say the first tiebreaker is head to head.
Okay.
I know 1 year, us and the Raiders. This is actually just a few years back. Us and the Raiders had the same record. I want to say we both were 4-12, and it ended up being a coin flip. But we was in the 3. We were flipping for 3 and 4, 4 and 5, something like that. Matter of fact, it was the year. It was the year the Bears traded us all on picks for Trubisky, whatever pick we had that year.
Could you imagine 2 teams not winning a game?
Well, not if they play each other.
That's what I'm saying. What if they tied?
Oh, you saying that kind of time? I'm thinking you saying record-wise. What if they tie
this game and don't win a game? Could you imagine some shit like that?
That'd be terrible for the league. Okay, I'm thinking you saying for like tying records at the end of the season for first pick in the draft next year. Oh no, okay, I'm off there. My bad. Yeah, I'm with you then. Yeah, that would be some crazy shit.
Wouldn't that be something? Because neither one of them really trying to win. So
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that would be the first time in NFL history.
It has to be the first time. It has to be. But yeah, I'm gonna take Washington. Now Miami done had a week, but hell, it seems like they've been on bye forever. So, but I'm gonna take Washington. Teams normally have a bit of a surge once the coach is fired. But Chris Thompson better ball after he cried for Jay Gruden like that. He better ball.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's 2 garbage teams. I'm gonna take the home garbage team.
Yeah.
Especially when that garbage team resides in Miami, Florida. That could sometimes be trouble for the opponent.
That's true.
All right. Next up, this actually think will be a pretty good game. It looked better on paper this week than it maybe did before the start of last week. But the Philadelphia Eagles going into the Vikings. Now the Vikings had a pretty good showing last week against the Giants as far as getting the offense back on track. We'll see if it carry over against a better team.
Yeah.
Philly going in here, they still a little bit banged up on in the secondary, their defense, right?
They are banged up in the secondary. I'm going to take Minnesota in this. I feel like the offense may keep it going. I think this is a big game for Philly. beat another quality opponent. Didn't they? Were they on bye? No, they weren't on bye last week. They played the Jets. So
they were on bye last week.
They were on bye. So, this will actually be a test for him. I want to see what Carson Wentz does against this pass rush. The secondary is better in Minnesota than that's probably up there with Green Bay, but he ate Green Bay alive. I don't believe Jordan Howard's going to be able to run the ball down Minnesota's throat. So it's going to be an interesting game, but I'm going to take the home team. Kirk Cousins will have a good game.
All right, I'm gonna take the Eagles. I think Kirk Cousins will go back to being Kirk Cousins, and even though this Philly defense has tended, is that a word? Tends to, I think that's the proper term. I'm on one today. They tend to have susceptible secondary, but they come up with with turnovers.
They do.
A lot of times. I'm expecting Kirk Cousins to cough up a few, and the Philly can, I ain't gonna say stop Dalvin Cook in the run game. If they can hold him, under the 125, 135, it seems like he's been getting every week, then I think they got a good chance to pull this game out. But it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Next up, we got some good games this week. Got the Houston Texans going into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. You always use the analogy about pulling the curtain back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Curtain been pulled back on the Chiefs just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I just wonder if the Texans. Do you think they're as tough up front as they used to be? Now playing against Atlanta, that ain't really saying a lot. JJ was all over them, but if Mahomes is hobbled, JJ should be hunting. Him and Merciless should be hunting this game. But I don't know. I'm gonna take the Chiefs in the game because it's at home. I really want to take the Houston Texans. I really do. Sound like this could be a statement game. But I think Tyreek Hill is gonna play. He got back to practice on Monday, so that should be helpful. I doubt Sammy Watkins is gonna play. But I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Okay. Yeah, I had the Chiefs even before I didn't even realize that Tyreek Hill was going to be back this week. I know I saw him on the sideline last week, but if he's going to play this week, then I feel even more comfortable about my pick. I think the Chiefs are coming off of a couple of was the Lions game right before that one?
They should have lost it. They should have lost them.
But a couple road games where they have been. Oh, no, the Colts game went on the road. But a couple games where they haven't looked so hot on offense, I think they'll be able to get it back together this week. I mean, the Falcons scored 32. I mean, yeah, they got blown out, and some of that was, probably because of certain coverages and what have you. But I think the Chiefs will be able to get back to putting up points on the board. And we're going to see. I'm waiting for Frank Clark to earn that big payday, that he got. Him, it seems like him and D Ford. D Ford's been hurt a little bit, but I'm waiting for him to kind of wake up as well.
And what's the nose tackle they got? Who held out a little bit? Is it Robinson for Kansas City?
I can't think of his name, but they both that front line need to come up.
Yeah, he had 15 sacks last year, held out wanting the bag, and you ain't showed up this year. That's counterproductive. So
yes, sir.
They're not gonna have to deal with a run game because Houston. I mean, Carlos Hyde's been solid, but they're not gonna force it down your throat. I'm expecting. Well, I'm not expecting it. I want to see a Deshaun. What's his name? Nuke Hopkins. I want to see a big game from him. He hasn't had one since I think the first game of the year. One of them big blow up games, and it's about time. So.
Yeah, we'll see. We know Atlanta, they rolled a lot of coverage his way last week, and that's why Will Fuller and QT, all them boys was running wild last week. We'll see if the Chiefs do something similar. But if the Chiefs can't get any pressure up front,
good luck.
That back end of the secondary, I'll take those Houston Texans receivers over that secondary of the Chiefs any day of the week. So
and they used to practice with Honey Badger all last year, so it's not like they're not familiar with him. Now, that goes both ways. He's familiar with them also, but it should be a good game. But I'm going to take the Chiefs at home.
Okay. All right, we're both taking the Chiefs on that one. All right, next up, Teddy Bridgewater still at the helm. The Saints will be going down to Jacksonville to take on the Jags. Jalen Ramsey back at practice this week as well, I believe. I think he's slated to play this week after missing the last 2 games.
Yeah.
With the back/childbirth and whatever else is going on down there with him. Right, pretty much. I'm taking the Saints in this game. I don't think the Jags will be able to muster up enough offense against the Saints defense. That's just as simple as that. Which is going to take, even though Leonard Fournette having a good year, the fact that I think the Saints will put points on the board, that's going to take that run game out of the equation.
I think they're going to put pressure on Teddy, but they're going to win the game. Does it feel like they miss Ingram a bit in their running game? Because what's his name? Latavius Murray ain't Mark Ingram.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that basically swap that they did over the offseason. Because for what Baltimore gave Mark Ingram, the money he ended up getting, the Saints should have had that to keep that 1-2 punch together. And then you don't do that, and then you go get Latavius Murray, which I don't like his running style. Yeah. I've really never liked much about him. Yeah. Probably since he screwed me over in a fantasy season one year. But that was probably my fault for depending on him as much as I did.
Yeah, you know, he'll have on games where he big. He'll just fall in the end zone 3 times. But then you'll get crap and bad and twisted ankles. But,
yeah, you know, I think it was one Monday night game. He went for like 200 and like 3 touchdowns. Yep. And, of course, the waiver wire went crazy the next month, the next day.
Didn't get shit from him going forward. But I feel like they miss Ingram.
Absolutely.
You know, Kamara's, done well in the passing game, but you can't depend on Alvin Kamara to sit there and give you in between the tackles running. He ain't really built for that. So, yeah, but I'm not expecting Uncle Rico on them to win either. So.
Yeah. Now, there is a path to them pulling this game out, and that's going to be that pressure that you just talked about, them going after Teddy. They're going to have to get there. And if they can do that and maybe cause some turnovers and then establish that ground game and keep that Saints offense off the field, then, they got a pretty good chance to pull this thing out at home. This is going to be another game that's going to be very interesting.
Didn't Jacksonville 1:00 on Sundays used to be somewhat of a trap? It seemed like teams go down there and struggle in that sun, but,
Well, yeah, early in the season, you're right. That could happen, But Tampa got that same sun down there, and it don't.
That's a perfect situation.
All right. Next up, Baker Mayfield, Freddie Kitchens and company will be hosting Russell Wilson and the Seahawks this week. Oh boy, the Browns have lost how many games in a row? At least 2, right? No, just 2 in a row because they beat Baltimore.
They beat Baltimore.
And they lost. Was Baltimore the week before they played us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, never mind then. But they 2-3 is their record, I believe.
Jets, they beat Baltimore. Yeah, they ain't beat nobody else, I don't think so.
All right, so the Browns are 2-3. Really kind of going in the wrong direction, actually, from what they expected to be coming into the season. I say that. All right, they're gonna be taking on Russell Wilson and Seahawks. Seahawks look good their last game. They look good pretty much, most of these games. I'm questioning the competition that they've played in maybe some of these games. But I expect them to still go to Cleveland and get it done. But does this seem like could this be a trap game for Seattle?
I'm taking my last stand with Baker.
You taking it?
They gotta pull this. They have to win this game.
They got to get up off the mat after the ass whipping last week,
yes,
right?
They got to. Now with Seattle, Seattle's prone to games like this. Going cross country 1:00, playing New York or somebody like that. Their run defense is gonna take away Chris Carson, Cleveland's run defense. They have to do that. Matt Breida broke them off the first damn play against y'all.
I'm about to say they run defense is still licking their wounds, right?
That set the tone early. Yeah. That has to be some pride coming. I expect the Odell game. Seattle's pass rush ain't been great this year. Hell, Andy Dalton beat them. So, I'm gonna take Cleveland. They should be getting their corners back this week. Both of them are back practicing now. So, only for the reason that I'd love to see Baker beat Russell Wilson. And for Colin to have to talk about that on Monday.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. Because boy, he was slobbing.
He loves Russell.
He was slobbing Russell Wilson up something serious last Tuesday.
Oh my God,
Jesus Christ!
But yeah, it could go either way. But I tell you this much: if Russell and them beat their ass, sad part about it, they still be in place for the division, even with the L.
Because I think Baltimore is leading the division at 3-2, right?
Yeah.
And who's behind them?
Right there with them.
Yeah, still right there. Yeah, because you got the Bengals and the Steelers who are going to have yet another guy in there at quarterback. That division, like we said last week, 8-8 probably, 9-7 at best is going to win it. But I haven't given my pick yet. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
They should win this game.
For the simple reason, I want to see the implosion. I want to see the implosion because Odell done caught 4 balls in 3 weeks now. Or 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks?
No, it's 4 in 2 weeks. 4 and 2.
Yeah, I want to see the implosion, and this being a home game. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see Freddie Kitchens. I want to see a Freddie Kitchens meltdown in the press conference. That's what I want to see.
If the wheels continue to go, you don't think they go after him, do you?
Who's that?
Freddie.
Nah, I don't.
You think he make it through the season?
I think he make it through the season. Now, and like I said, unless it just gets completely not just losing games, but other stuff within the locker room, within the facility. It'll have to be.
And we talked about it Tuesday. They got to win. Well, we expect them to lose both of these games. I'm picking Cleveland, but we said they gonna lose these next 2, and then they got a chance to win the next 2 after that because they got New England coming up next. So yeah, it could really be bad the next 2 weeks for the Cleveland Browns.
Like you said, and if they lose these next 2, that'll take them. They're 2-3 right now, right?
Yeah, 2-3.
Yeah, that'll take them to 2-5.
Yep. But the next 4 after that, they can roll. They got Pittsburgh twice, Cincinnati, and Arizona. They can get on a roll. They just got to make it through these next 2. We gonna see.
They could get on the road, but they got to at least show me something that makes me think that they can get on the road.
Yeah.
And these last couple of weeks, excluding the Baltimore game, I say probably the last 3 weeks. I think the game before the Baltimore game, they was hitting on hot shit too.
Yeah.
But that offense has not been clicking at all. So we'll see what happens. So I'm taking Seattle, and you are taking the Browns.
Yes, sir.
Next up, Cincinnati Bengals going to the aforementioned Baltimore Ravens this week. I'm taking the Ravens. I know Lamar in the passing game and has dipped from what it started from. We should have expected that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have expected him to maintain what we saw him start out at. But I'm taking the Ravens. I mean, this is the Bengals. Still no AJ Green. There's nothing to be optimistic about this team.
I tell you the one thing I'm upset with. I'm upset with AJ Green doing the interview saying that he's ready for whatever to happen, but he's not really looking to leave Cincinnati. He sees what Larry Fitzgerald did, staying with the same team. He wants all the team records as far as receiving. You, my friend, are a loser. You will never win in Cincinnati. You're politicking to stay there. What are you doing?
I even thought that Larry Fitzgerald should have acted out a couple years ago. But at least he's won to a certain degree in Arizona. Yeah. They've been to a Super Bowl. Things like that. They ain't never did shit in Cincinnati.
Nothing. Has AJ been out the first round? I don't think he's been out the first round.
No. So for him to try to compare himself and his situation to Larry Fitzgerald, it's not quite the same, homeboy. Now talent-wise, he's up there talent-wise as an individual talent. But you can't compare him, Larry Fitzgerald, staying with Arizona with you staying with these bums.
You said that mess right there, and all they did was basically give Cincinnati like, okay, we're good. We can hold on to them. Man, there's nothing cool about losing and being rich. I don't care. There's nothing cool about that. Right. Go somewhere and play.
The only thing I'm thinking, because Cincinnati, as cheap as they are, they wouldn't franchise him.
No. And what type of deal would you give him? He done missed 19 games over like the last 2 years.
Right. So I mean,
what money are you handing him?
So kind of looking at it from that angle, he probably just waiting now so he can, because he's gonna be a free agent at the end of the year.
But
so he just kind of waiting it out.
Y'all, New England, the Saints, Philly. I want to go somewhere and win. You're going to be free this summer regardless. Either way. I'd rather put some good tape in the playoffs instead of losing in. Well, I guess you're going to put good tape in Cincinnati either way. But, man, yeah. We'll see.
I mean, you talking about as far as him wanting to get out this year and go to a good team?
I'd want to be out this year if it was me. Free is free
but
year.
That's true. But see, that's the thing. For what Cincinnati gonna want for him in a trade, who gonna give up that for a rental?
Honestly, X. For a dude who's free. Now, if I'm a team, I think y'all got an extra second. I think I gotta have extra picks.
We don't have a second at all.
Oh, you don't have a second? Okay. If I got an extra second, let's say New England, somebody got a whole lot of picks. That's all I'm offering. He's free. And they should get what they can. But he's not really helping his cause by saying he's trying to stay. But, it's a long time between now and, well, I think it's 2 weeks to the trade deadline, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. But I guess he would rather than go to a good team this year, I think he would maybe rather go through the process of really having the freedom to pick and court all the teams.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever been free.
No, he hasn't. He's drafted by them.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can think of why he doesn't want out. And now that I think about it, I can make a little bit more sense in my head if that's where he's coming from. Now, if he just on some My Love It Soda on some Kevin Garnett back in the day shit,
then I feel.
Then yes, exactly. Then sit there and ride away. Just sit there and ride away. Take their money and sit there and lose. Who gonna be their quarterback next year?
That's my point. There's no stability. Nothing. You don't look at the offensive line. You got Joe Mixon and nothing else. They got Tyler Boyd there. You got John Ross. I mean, it don't really seem like a spot for him for real money when they're young already.
Right. Yeah.
In that case,
maybe he's politicking it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's politicking it behind the scenes and saying the right thing in front of the screen, in front of the camera, being that Larry Fitzgerald type, not to stir up no shit, but got his agent working behind the scenes saying, hey, let these 3 teams know that if they go ahead and trade for me, it's a good chance that I'll sign with them, and kind of go about it that way.
NFL.
Huh?
Rich Paul will get this shit done. Rich Paul
never know. Agent. Oh man, the agency is moving in that direction from what I heard. So we'll see. So we both taking the Ravens in that game.
Yeah.
All right, next up, big game for us. I kind of had this game marked as my first big game. Is how I'm looking at it. Coming to this game, we're coming in 4-0. The Rams are 4-1. It's at the Rams. We're coming off, the ass kicking that we gave.
3-2. They don't lost. They 3-2. They on a 2-game losing streak.
That's right. I'm thinking Seattle is the one in our division that's 4-1. I'm sorry, the Rams are 3-2. So that makes this game even more important for them to win because they definitely don't want to go to 3 they don't want to go to 3-3 and have us sitting at 5-0 and then Seattle with only 1 loss. Now we got a couple more injuries here that are big that I got to deal with. In Monday night's game, Juice went out. Kyle Juszczyk went out. Fullback, who's a big part of our run game. He went out. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained MCL. And then yesterday, out of the blue, our right tackle already got Joe Staley, the left tackle, out. Now McGlinchey is out. He having his knee scope, so he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
2 big parts of the run game, and the run game is what we've been feeding off of. So at some point here, I need a little bit more from Jimmy G. And I'm saying in the passing game, I need more. And this is going to be the week I'm gonna need it. Now, I'm going with us, but I got to think we got a legit shot at winning this game because the Rams are not running the ball well. We have been playing good against the run anyway, so I'm expecting my front 4: Bosa, D. Buckner, Armstead. I'm expecting them to get to and put some pressure on Jared Goff. Now, if we don't get there, I need my secondary to hold tight because we know Cooper Kupp going to be open in the middle probably a lot.
He got to use those other guys though.
And we got to watch. We always got to watch Robert Woods on those deep comebacks, those deep square ends and digs. You got to watch him on those. Now, Brett, I was about to say, I'm not sure if he's been cleared from concussion protocol. I know he didn't practice yesterday.
Okay.
We'll see today.
Damn near a mini bye though when you played that last Thursday. That's a good little stretch off, but I ain't heard nothing. So
he just knocked out a lot. You know, he's had a lot of concussions. Yeah. So even though they've had those couple extra days from playing on that Thursday, guy like that, you probably need to give some extra time to.
Yes.
Kind of like y'all did Luke last year, kind of like what I'm hoping the Giants are going to do with Sterling Shepard, since he's on his second one in 3 weeks and probably I want to say his fourth since he's been in the league. Very short time he's been there.
If his family need to sit down and have a talk with him, you need to take 2-3 weeks off. Something. Yeah. They're happening too frequently for him. All right, here's
Jordan Reed. Just like Jordan Reed in Washington. Same thing.
Yeah. That young man, I have to hang him up. All right, here's my concern.
Tell me what you got.
Todd Gurley's not practicing. They say he got a quad injury. I want to take the Rams in this game because I feel like this is another one of them now and nevers. They got to. There'll be a 3-game losing streak. They lose this game. I feel like the secondary has to play better. The defense has to play better. They're at home. They normally play better at home. Hell, Todd Gurley being hurt may not be a bad thing. Maybe you can let some of them young boys with the fresh legs go.
Very true.
Give me. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Rams. I'm nervous because Bosa looked very good Monday night, but at some point, pride got to step in. At some point, 2 straight losses, and y'all played in the Super Bowl last year. Now I guess last week's wasn't necessarily as bad because old boy missed the kick. They would have won that game, but division game, rivalry game, that'd be 2 straight division losses if they lose to y'all Sunday.
Right, like you said, that'll be 3 in the hole, and losing a head-to-head to the division leader. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. You pretty much, I mean, a lot of season left, but if you go down 3 games in the division, you are almost putting yourself in basically chasing for a wild card spot now.
And I'm starting to like these Sean McVay press conferences because I don't think he has answers, but
he sounds good in them though, right?
Yeah, it just we just got to get better. We're working on it. We just got to keep trying. But the shit ain't working. The genius ain't working like it was. So this is a big game for them this week. Very big game.
You know, his press conferences are kind of like, you know, the meme of the one chick that's bending over with her hands on her knees, squinting.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's saying a lot, but I'm waiting to hear and see like the substance. Where is it?
Right. He need to watch some Tomlin, press conferences. He may be saying next to nothing, but he's saying it with his chest.
Right. Mike Tomlin is another one who is not saying jack shit in his press conferences.
Just say it with your chest. Say it like you mean it. So, all right, these last few ones.
Is Mike Tomlin the best rah-rah coach of all time?
Him and Pete Carroll, they close.
Oh, yeah, that Pete Carroll.
That shit kind of mirrors, too. They both got 1 Super Bowl. They done been to 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I guess that shit works when you got a lot of other good shit around you, and as long as you winning.
I think he'd be perfect in college.
As long as you winning, then you great. Mike Tomlin never had a season under 500, I think. Or did they go 7-9 last year?
When I say that, either saying he'd be perfect in college, just that rah-rah shit. Could you imagine him coming in your house trying to get young Diego to come play for him? Hell yeah, right. I'll go with you.
And maybe I shouldn't really label him rah-rah because he ain't.
He is.
I'm just saying, as far as like you think of rah-rah, you think of hype, and he is just more a stern.
He's like
authoritative, no voice, like you said, whatever he said with conviction. Yeah. Even if he lying, if he full of shit, it make you take a second thought, like, damn, I believe him a little bit,
That's good shit right there.
Oh man. All right, so you taking the Rams, I'm taking the Niners. All right. Next up,
There's something got to give, Bo.
There's something got to give, Bo. And one person can still give because they got a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach, and that's the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to be hosting the Falcons. The Falcons, they can't give so much. It's time to fucking put a W on the board.
Lord, you know I come to you and pray sometimes on this show. Please don't let the Falcons take an L, because I'm worried about these fans if they lose this game.
I got an email, and I'm not sure why I'm on the Falcons email. Oh, no, I went to a preseason game. That's why. But anyway, StubHub sent me an email after they got their ass kicked Sunday. I got an email Monday morning, first thing, that the tickets to the home game, not this week, of course, but next week against the Rams, the tickets had dropped. You get a ticket for like $60 right now.
Because why? This ain't like the Falcons fan base. They jump off the cliff early. You know, we on that, we got a personal chat with a whole lot of Falcons fans. My team went 0-2 off top. I ain't say much shit. These cats, week 1, man, we suck. The season's over.
Hey, but
week 1.
did they lie though? Here it is, week 6, and you won Julio Jones jailbreak screen away from being 0-5.
Forgot about that. Hey, we got to talk about it. Kiki Cutie. He shitted on the defense.
Yes, people, if you didn't hear Cutie, again, I think he either was injured and just came back last week against the Falcons, or this was his first game, period, this year. And he said that the Falcons defense was real basic. He said it was easy to figure out what they was doing and what have you. And I don't think Dan Quinn's defense have ever been known as being complicated. But when you have a guy like Quincy Cutie, a good, solid player, but he ain't the type of cat that should be out here questioning a team's defense that just went to the Super Bowl like 3 years ago.
Because he said, if with this defense, what we saw, if one thing goes wrong, one communication happens, they're done.
Oh, see, I didn't read the whole quote.
Oh, it was terrible. He should have.
Oh, okay. See, maybe I didn't do it justice there. I just kind of saw the headline and laughed and moved on. I didn't know he said all that.
It was priceless. But I'm gonna take the Falcons. They're gonna win this game. If Kyler Murray kicks their ass,
I'm taking the Falcons as well. This is just I don't know why, but I'm taking them.
They lose this game. Can we put them on that? What was that about a year or so ago with Alex Smith? You wouldn't pick them anymore.
I don't give a damn who they played. I stopped picking them. And after this week, that just may be the case, and it's going to start to become true in a minute because they got some big games coming up.
Yeah.
Because after this week, they got 2 home games, but it's against the Rams in Seattle. then they go into a bye, and then they come out of the bye and play the Saints, and then y'all. So yeah, they gotta win this game.
What if they end up with a top 5 pick? The fans gonna be hollering for a quarterback.
I was just about to say. Now that's gonna be Armageddon right there. That's gonna be Armageddon. That's gonna be Armageddon. Now, if Arthur Blank, let's just do a quick hypothetical scenario that I'm pretty sure is not gonna happen because Arthur Blank
got time today. So
Arthur Blank is too passive to do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a couple of friends teams next year that feel they need a quarterback.
Minnesota.
Imagine the haul you could get from Matt Ryan.
Tennessee.
Okay. And the haul that you can get from that, on top of if you have a top 5 pick and you can get one of these mini quarterbacks that's supposed to be good that's coming out, hey, you got to think about pulling the trigger on that, right?
They should. Those 2 teams keep sticking out to me. Hell, put Matt Ryan down there with Bruce Arians. He's already under contract. He gonna make if J-Boo get paid, he gonna get more than Matt Ryan. Last summer the jobs went fast. It's going to be so interesting this summer with these jobs and draft picks and how this mess plays out. But we're both gonna take Atlanta. I think we're cautiously taking them. But it wouldn't surprise me if Kyler Murray and them won this game. It would not surprise me some kind of way.
No, not at all. Not at all, because the Falcons, last week they couldn't get any pressure on Houston and Deshaun Watson. And everybody gets pressure on Houston and Deshaun Watson. Yes. And the Falcons couldn't. So the one thing that Kyler Murray can where he can have his little bit of success is if he actually has time and he can move around where he can actually see down the
doing it more. He been taking off a little bit more.
So if the Falcons can't get pressure on him, I like the receiving options that he I'm not sure if Christian Kirk is still out, but I like him stretching the field. Of course, you got Larry Fitzgerald there, you got David Johnson. So the Cardinals got a couple of offensive weapons where they can move the ball against this defense. And they play better at home than they do on the road. And the Falcons traveling out there. Now they did stay. They didn't come from Houston and come back to Atlanta and then go back. They stayed out on that side, so the travel should not affect them.
And Julio's not practicing this week because of the
hip.
Again, well, Julio don't really practice a lot anyway, but they said it's the hip again.
Oh, okay.
So I guess if he don't practice Friday, we'll know what's up.
When the last time Julio practiced all the time, for real, 2012?
Yeah, while back. So
okay. All right.
But let's try to get if this doesn't work out, let's try to get one of our Falcons friends to come on next week. I want to hear it. Let's try, even for a phone call. If they lose this week, I want to try to get somebody on next week.
Got it. So did you take the Falcons too?
Yeah, I'm gonna take them. Yeah.
Okay.
They gotta win.
Go take them.
They
have to. They have no fucking choice but to win this game. I don't feel good about it. Next up, we got the Cowboys. They'll be going up to New York to take on the Jets. Sam Darnold will be back this week. I don't think it'll matter unless Dak has one of those games where he throws 3 or 4 picks. The Cowboys should win this game.
I'm going to take Dallas, but if it's raining and windy, and they say it's supposed to be pretty nasty up that way, but I'm going to take Dallas. That should be a Zeke game. But, man.
Yeah, regardless of whether it needs to be.
If he has a bad game, whoo. But, yeah, give me Dallas as well.
All right, next up, we got the Tennessee Titans, the Jekyll and Hyde of the NFL, going out to Denver to take on the Broncos. Broncos coming off of what some people may call an upset, beating the Chargers in LA last week. And we know the Broncos to me are a team that's a little bit better than their record says, just how they lost a couple of games in the early part of the season. I'm taking them against the Titans. I expect Von Miller, even with Bradley Chubb being gone now, I'm expecting Von Miller to do his thing on Mariota because Marcus Mariota likes to hold the fucking ball too long at times.
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver as well. I was thinking Tennessee because you know how they go. The games they should win, they don't. And the ones they shouldn't win, they do. But, nah. This is going to be a defensive struggle, though. It won't be a lot of scoring in this game.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly, and it's in that 4 o'clock slot. It's going to be that game on Red Zone that they probably never go to because it's only 4 games in the 4 o'clock slot. But the Titans are like a seesaw, like the seesaw on the playground. They won. Did they win last week?
No, I remember they lost to Buffalo.
They lost last week, so they'll probably win this week. They kind of alternate, but I'm taking the Broncos nonetheless. All right, next up, another block game that surprisingly did not decide to go ahead and flex out of because this was the first week that they could actually flex a game if they wanted to. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be going out to LA to take on the Chargers. Now, the Chargers have been playing like hot shit too. I know they got a lot of injuries, and I think it's this morning I saw going across the screen that Marcus Pouncey is out for the year. So this
Charger anger in life that it's like either they're gonna be healthy as hell or everybody gonna get hurt. And last year was the healthy year. It seemed like last year was the healthy year. Outside of Hunter Henry because he's always hurt.
But the one thing that always comes to the end is no matter whether they always healthy or always hurt, they always gonna lose in the end. So they have been. If I had to, off the top of my head, pick one of the top 3 or 5 most disappointing teams so far this year, outside of the Falcons, the Chargers are probably right up there.
Can you say that though with the injuries? They kind of went in behind the 8 ball. They lost like 3 starters.
Yeah, but to me, when you have potential future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, that should be able to carry you to some degree.
That's true.
And scoring like 10 and 13 points a game, which is probably what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I'm saying that. You coming, I mean, Anthony Lynn coming off of a Coach of the Year award last year. Yeah. The talent has kind of always been there, but that was a lot of him coaching. Where is that this year?
Yeah.
So I need to see some of that.
Yeah.
But I'm taking them over the Steelers at home in the Sunday night game. I'm pretty sure Sunday night game, Powder Blue is going to be out, right?
Yeah, they should. And they played Sunday night last year, if I'm not mistaken, in Pittsburgh, but not in L.A. this year. But Pittsburgh is going in with the third string quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. So
I'm about to say, I don't know, what's that guy that came in last week?
I can't even remember the dude's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we both taking the Chargers there. And then in the Monday night game, got the Detroit Lions, the under the radar Detroit Lions, going into Green Bay to take on the Packers.
Now, you remember we said about a week ago we was going to take them serious after they almost beat Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the game.
They almost beat Kansas City, and then they did beat
they beat Philly.
Beat Philly, that's what it was. I didn't expect them to beat Philly.
Yeah. Now they said Devontae Adams ain't even got a jersey on. So
I was about to say he got a high ankle sprain, right?
No, that's turf toe.
Oh, okay, that's right, turf toe. Yeah, he's probably. What's the day? Today's Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he don't step foot on the field, do anything today, he's definitely not playing. But it looks like a long
stat from the Dallas game. They said Aaron only completed 4 passes to wide receivers against Dallas last week. Most of that was check downs to the running backs. Yeah. Detroit's defense is a bit more solid. So
exactly, and especially in the man-to-man defense.
Right.
And I want to say going back to last year, Detroit plays Green Bay solid, even in Green Bay. I want to say they beat them last year. I want to say that it was snowing and a kind of ugly weather game last year. But Aaron Rodgers he can sit back there and pick you apart with that zone. Not to say he's any kind of a slouch throwing against man-to-man, but the Lions kind of specialize in man-to-man. And those throwing windows with these other second-tier receivers aren't going to be there like they were last week.
You know who Green Bay should see, just tiptoe in and see about A.J. Green?
You think they need to, though? I mean,
I just don't.
They're already paying Devontae big money.
Well, yeah. I mean, but if you're trying to win one this year, that's if you got extra. Depending on the cost, a second or a third, if you're trying to get it in. I think we need to see a little bit more from these young receivers. They didn't show up last week against Dallas. We'll see this week. Like you said, the coverage, what they got going in with Detroit, it don't have to be AJ. You remember I was talking about them getting crabbed before the season started. I just wanted a veteran, somebody else who can get the ball. But technically, I mean, Green Bay's winning by running the ball, so we'll see. I'm gonna ride the hot hand, and I'm gonna keep Green Bay. I was gonna take Detroit, but I'm gonna take Green Bay.
Yeah, and this will probably be. I'm not even saying probably. I know this will be the first time that I actually I will actually sit down and actually watch Detroit in a game from start to finish, and not pockets of a game here and there like I've been kind of seeing on Red Zone. But I'm taking the Packers nonetheless. I think it's going to be a close game. But I think Aaron Jones in the run game and Aaron Rodgers at the end of the day will get it done against Detroit. But this is a big game. We're going to see Detroit's kind of in that, to me at least, even though the records aren't really similar. I know we're 5-0, but to me, Detroit is in that realm with us. Like, we still are really kind of waiting to see. And I know some people try to put that to bed after this week playing the Browns, but to me, we're still in that. Are we a pretender or a contender state? Kind of
about to get real.
Kind of tier.
Y'all keep whooping ass on national television. Shit about to get real. I think you said to me the other day that under the radar stuff kind of out the window now.
Yeah, that's out the window. This is week 6. It's actually it's time to take the training wheels and cut the umbilical cord on all this.
It's just y'all in New England undefeated, right? Y'all the last 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're the last 2. But I'm just saying league wide, and you know, as far as my picks and how I'm looking at these teams, you know, it's been a lot of, at least for me, a lot of, well, you know, it's early. We gonna see. We don't really know yet. It's week 6. So it's time to, like, that's why I say it's time to cut the umbilical cord. These teams are pretty much shaping into what they're gonna be.
Yeah.
And it's time to take them from what they've been showing us.
So next Tuesday, we do it Tuesday or Thursday is the Power 5. Do we do it on the pick show?
Yeah, we usually do the Power 5 on the pick show.
Okay, so we do our first ones next week.
We can do that. We can do that. So this week we got quite I think about 3 or 4 games different, maybe 4. Yeah, we got the Redskins and the Dolphins different. I'm taking the Dolphins. You're taking the Redskins. I'm taking the Eagles. You're taking the home team Vikings. In the third game that we differ on, you're taking Baker and them to take one last hurrah against the Seahawks. I got Russell and company. And then the last one, of course, I'm taking my 49ers, and you got the Rams in this one. All right. So we got 4 games different. Again, we are tied. No, I'm sorry, I'm up 1 game, virtually a tie. So we'll see how this week 4 shakes out. Unless it's a 3-1 or a clean sweep either way, there still won't be much separation.
Yeah.
We'll still be pretty close.
Sure.
What else going on, man? Oh, sorry. I forgot. I meant to say this at the beginning of the show.
What's that?
Fuck the Braves.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. I mean, you know, they still my baseball team, but just another disappointing early exit from a promising season just going down the drain. You know,
I think what's worse is it wasn't close. If it was down to the bottom of the 9th, 2-3, that's okay. It's not okay to lose, but I feel better about that than 10-1 in the damn 4th inning.
Well, see, that's interesting because I actually put a tweet up this morning because, yeah, you're right. That game was over before we even got a chance to bat yesterday.
Yes.
First inning, 10-0 before Atlanta even went to bat. So, yeah, that game was pretty much over then. But I put a tweet up this morning, and I put the question was, would you rather get blown out before you get a chance to bat like Atlanta did, or would you rather have your heart taken from you by one of your aces late like Kershaw did
That's
to the
tough.
Dodger fans last night?
That's tough.
And to me, I would rather get blown out early because yesterday I was able to accept the fact that we choked again and I moved on with my life real quick. Before the sun even went down, you know. So I was kind of good, but you know, to sit there through 9 innings and to be a nail biter, and you know how the sports games get and to start wrecking your nerves and shit.
Yeah.
And to come out on the losing end the way that the Dodgers did again, that's tough. That's tough.
Who do you think feels worse this morning, Clayton Kershaw or Bryce Harper?
Definitely Clayton Kershaw.
Bryce Harper kind of got to feel away too, though. Because if they had 300 for him and they still winning, and they knocked your team out the playoffs, and they don't win, they're into the 3rd round of the playoffs now, give or take. Because they had to play the wild card.
Wild card game. Yeah. So they're in the NLCS. Yeah. I mean, but they may, if he was there, you know, maybe they don't make it. I mean, he got his money at the end of the day, and his team it's kind of like to lose early and be content with it.
Yeah.
The Phillies sucked a long time ago.
They fired that dude.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have fired him too. He was only 2 years in, but with the payroll that they had, and they were pretty much out of the race June, July, All-Star break. So, yeah, you got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, baseball needs to get away from them long-ass contracts anyway. Go shorter. It can be real money like that, but go shorter. Why tie yourself to somebody 10, 11 years?
I mean, yeah.
For the players, it's a go. But teams.
Yeah, yeah. So even from the player side, well, I guess it's hard to turn down $300 million no matter how you slice it. But depending on what your competitive spirit is like, do you want to tie yourself into 10 years with a team that may suck 4 years in, and now you just kind of there and mad?
It's like Manny Machado with the Padres. He got that bag last year, like 320. They ain't about to be good no time soon, dog. And like you said, you're gonna lose for a minute. How does that work? You get complacent then. So
Yeah, and that probably is what kind of helps you cope. Is the complacency, because it's easier. You don't, not the saying that you like losing, but it's easier probably coming to work knowing you're gonna lose, knowing you have no shot, but your check gonna clear. You know,
Cabrera up there in Detroit with that super bag, and they ain't winning forever.
Yeah.
So
it's some cats think like that. Some cats, they don't care what the check is. It's hard for them to take a to not get those W's. I don't know how I would feel because I ain't never had that much money. I ain't never played sports on that level, so I don't know. I know I was mad as hell at a rec ball championship game playoff game one year, and we get to the court, and you know how you got you got the main court in the gym, and then you got them side courts. Mm-hmm. Now, them side courts don't have 3-point lines.
Right.
They made us play a playoff game on that side court. I was mad as hell. It completely took me out my game. I mean, this is bullshit. This is the playoffs. We ain't got no damn 3-point line. But anyway, yeah. So, but there was no money involved.
Prayers up with that. What else we got? They played that game in China last night. Or this morning, whatever. I heard there was a lot of restrictions to it. We're gonna see how that plays out.
Yeah, I'm admit I'm not quite as informed on that situation as I thought I was.
Me neither.
So, because I was kind of making, I've been making jokes about Daryl Morey fucking everybody money up, but the league kind of standing behind him and like, no, we're not firing him. No. So, when I heard money getting fucked up and because of a tweet, my mind automatically went to the climate that we in. Like, okay, he done cost himself his job over fucking tweeting. Yeah. But again, that's not didn't educate myself thoroughly on the situation. But
Adam Silver been riding.
Okay. But I read something last night. Did you see the Yahoo story about how this whole thing could affect the cap? Mm-mm. So if China starts pulling out of certain deals or what have you, it affects revenue and what have you. So long and short, the salary cap experts that project the cap for next year say that this could possibly affect the cap from anywhere from 10 to 15%, which could be anywhere from, I think they said, $10 to $17 million knocked down. Now, every team got a cap guy, but they've been dealing with cap increases.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a lot different when you're dealing with a $15 million reduction. And this could affect, the player exemption contracts, rookie contracts. It'll take teams into the luxury tax.
Wow.
It'll make teams have less money available. Let's say you got $20 million next year, projected to have $20 million in cap space next year. You could go after a potentially pretty good player with that $20 million.
Yeah.
Or split it up 10 and 10.
Yeah.
Well, if the cap is going to be affected by $12 to $15 million and now you only got 5,
that's tough.
That's going to be big. So that's going to be something to keep an eye out on.
And the one I'm thinking about is Anthony Davis. They got to re-sign him.
Yeah, well, one thing with the Lakers and one thing good about the NBA is it's not a hard cap.
Yeah.
So, they can go into a luxury tax. It's going to cost them more. At the end of the day, it's basically going to be some billionaires that's going to have to cough up a few more $1 million.
Yeah.
Or
they're going to sacrifice Daryl Morey at some point.
Or they'll sacrifice winning, But for somebody like the Lakers, just that, it's not going to affect them. Golden State, it's just too much revenue for them to even miss $10 or $15 million.
It's not a good thing, but at least the free agents in 20, it wasn't a lot of them good anyway.
Yeah, that's true because we already kind of did look at that. You're right.
Yeah. Draymond was looking like the best one, and he re-signed. So yeah, tough break for them. I don't even want to say mid-level dudes who's probably gonna get max money. Let's just say it was a bunch of guys that were gonna be free this summer. So,
but no, you're right because I think we saw this not last year, of course, but I want to say either the year before that or 2 years ago, where it wasn't a whole lot of big name guys, but the money still had to be spent, and all these mid-tier guys were getting big guy money.
Yep. Summer 16.
Yeah. And next year would have not been a lot of big name guys. Them other guys would have been set to probably get more than what they were really have gotten otherwise. But if this happens, then no, they'll probably get about what they should get anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
there you go.
That's all I got. Well, Texas and Oklahoma. Jalen Hurd plays in the Red River Bowl
for
the first time. If he balls in this game, he's probably on his way to that Heisman. Because Tua don't play fourth quarters.
Yeah, I mean this is the first big game I think for them for the season. I'm expecting them to win. I don't know whether they're playing at home or in Texas. I don't think it's gonna matter. Yeah, and I'm just saying I think they're gonna win because I'm just picking them because I haven't watched Texas or Oklahoma this year. I think I watched Texas once.
Yeah.
But I haven't really watched Oklahoma at all.
I think they beat the shit out of UCLA one Saturday. LSU and Florida should be a good one this weekend. I expect Georgia to beat the brakes off South Carolina. And that's
I got LSU. I got LSU in that game as well. Like I said, I got Texas. It's another big game. I want to say Penn State is playing somebody big this week.
That's the Saturday night game. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as these big teams in the top 10, they're gonna really start. It's October, so it's time to start jockeying for playoff position. I know the first rankings don't come out probably for another few weeks.
You concerned about Jake Fromm?
As far as what happened?
The offense don't seem what it was.
Oh, I mean,
it seemed like he was throwing the ball better last year.
Well, he had better weapons to throw it to last year too.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be all right. That could change. But he's still efficient. He doesn't make mistakes. He's got very few interceptions and turnovers this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's just Alex Smith, diet Alex Smith.
Yes.
Yes. So as long as we don't get into a game where we need to come back from a lot of points or have to get into a shootout, then we straight.
So what's that number? 10 to 14? We can't go down 14.
Yeah, we can go down 14. 21? 21? 3 scores? Yeah. It might get a little dicey. It might get a little dicey if we get down 3 scores.
Boy, you've been on point today. You done made me laugh. Let's get out of here.
Hey, man, it's the daytime. It's just good. Let's get up out of here. All right, people, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, this is AA Sports, Straight Sports, No Chaser, the NFL Week 6 pick show. We'll upload this here shortly this afternoon, this evening to be on YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes.
They got a whole show out of us this week. They got 2 whole shows. We went over an hour today. Turn up.
Did we? Okay. Didn't even seem like it. That's what's up. That's how you know it flows when it don't even seem like you've been on that long. All right, Uncle, hey, tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At Rike6000. Holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, follow me. I'm at Diego Barish on Twitter as well. Shout out to the Urban Arena crew. Go check out the boys over there. Team Boy TV. That's Big Q, JB, Glasses on that show as well. Glasses with Get With His Sports. Also, him and Brandon. Shout out to Brandon. Happy birthday. And that's the crew, man. Y'all go check out that independent podcast content, man. There's a lot of it out there. There you go. That's it. We up out of here, man. For AA Sports, Uncle Hate, Diego Barishnikov. We'll holler at y'all on next week. Y'all be easy. Have a great weekend. And peace.